So let me now bring in Veena Sikri ji, former senior Indian diplomat on the show. Hi, ma'am. First of all, would you call the Bangladesh general elections free and fair? Sheikh Hasina has called them a well-planned farce and an unconstitutional exercise. In this context, also a comment on Sheikh Hasina's Awami League being stopped from contesting.
Yeah, absolutely. This election was just a farce. It is not an election. It is just a selection. And first of all, I think there was no huge uprising in 2024. It was not spontaneous. It was not a student uprising. It was a well-planned, meticulously designed regime change operation meant for the ouster of Sheikh Hasina, which is achieved. The organization behind the entire operation in Bangladesh is the Jamaat Islami, which is Mohammed Yunus is just a spokesman of the Jamaat Islami, and behind Jamaat Islami is Pakistan. They have conducted this regime change operation at the behest of the Western powers, with China in the know. So we have to quite clearly realize that what has happened in the last 18 months, we've seen the attacks on the minorities, the attacks on the Awami League, the muzzling of the media. It's all meant to create a Jamaat-e-Islami victory through these elections. The Jamaat-e-Islami has taken control of the bureaucracy, of the judiciary. They have, through the democracy, they have changed all their individuals who were there earlier. They have put their own people in the media camps, and today they are hoping to win the election. But I must tell you that although you have said that there's a participation of 47% by 2 p.m. by the government, but this is a fake number by the government, because in the morning, about 3.5 hours after the voting, they themselves announced that the voting is only 15%, whereas we know that always in Bangladesh, I know I've been there, you know, always in Bangladesh, the early hours are the busiest. And many times when the voting booths used to open, you already had 1,000, 1,500 people waiting in line to vote. So we know that when today, after 3.5 hours, the Election Commission said there's less than 15% polling, that actually there was no polling at all. The Awami League, 40% has stayed away. The minority, 7 to 8% have stayed away. The women have stayed away because the Jamaat of the Amir of the Jamaat-e-Islami made a terrible statement a few days ago, very derogatory to women. So they were really, really annoyed with him. And but the other thing to notice is that a very important fact indeed is that the referendum was held also today. It was a so-called July National Charter drafted in 2025, and they wanted to have a referendum. Now it's completely illegal. The entire Yunus regime is unconstitutional because they were sworn in on a constitution which had no provision for interim government. Then the referendum is not there in the Bangladesh constitution, so they're having a referendum. In fact, Yunus did not want to organize elections at all. He said, we need 4 years for reform, then we'll think of election. But only the pressure of the political parties forced him to have the election today. But of course, the Awami League was banned because they are a challenge to the Jamaat-e-Islami. You know, the Jamaat-e-Islami and the Awami League are the only two cadre-based parties in Bangladesh, and Jamaat-e-Islami felt that if Awami League were participating, they could never get more than 5 to 7% of the vote. They have never ever received more than 12%. In one election, they got 12.2, and that was it. So basically, A, this is an illegal election. It cannot be justified. B, we know that the participation was very poor. Whatever the government may say, we know the participation was very poor, even by the figures given by the Election Commission, and also because of the feedback from individual polling booths. I know people in Dhaka who said even at 12 noon or 1 o'clock, there was nobody in the polling booth in Dhaka. And when they went to ask the election people, they said, yeah, maybe 7, 8 people have come since the morning. You know, so actually, this really has been a non-participatory election. The Awami League was banned. It was not allowed to participate because its activities had been banned. But even otherwise, it is a very disappointing election. So I think we have to see what they announce tomorrow, but I do not think any party is going to get the edge. And they possibly are going to declare a kind of unity government with both BNP and Awami League, but this is because Yunus himself wants to stay on as president. You see, in the referendum, which again is illegal, they have created about 84 questions divided into 4 subsections, and they want a yes vote on a yes or no vote on that. But the ballot papers for the referendum have no serial numbering. So it's a completely open question for the government to print as many as they want and stamp them because there's no serial numbering.
Oh, that's surprising.
That's shocking. That's shocking.
Yes,
Because
that's shocking. How are they going to number if they don't have serial numbers there?
No.
Okay, point taken. Yes, you say that the turnout numbers are. We have to make sure that they are credible. Even then, there has been, say, 50% electorate out there to vote. Could you give us a sense of what does it say about the people's mood if we go by those numbers?
People's mood is very poor, quite indifferent. As I said, actually, I would never go by those numbers because, you know, in the past, when Sheikh Hasina had an election in 2024, nobody accepted those numbers. So in Bangladesh, this is par for the course. You inflate the numbers, you rig the voting. We know as of last night that even the Jamaat Islami was caught with thousands of crores of takas, and they were caught actually voting, you know, they were caught stuffing the ballot boxes. So since the Jamaat Islami is in control in the government, they've been doing all these things. I do not think the people of Bangladesh are going to accept these elections. It has been seen before that when they have a non-participatory election, then the people of Bangladesh feel they have been cheated. They've not been given the option to exercise their vote, and they're being forced to vote one way or the other, which they never like. So I think that
even the women participation is faulty there because there are no female candidates. 83 of them contesting for 300 seats, and of course, Jamaat Islami has not even fielded a single woman candidate.
Yes, and actually, the percentage of women candidates is less than 4%. This 83 figure is also totally inflated because, as you said rightly, the Jamaat Islami has 0 women candidates. BNP has 6 out of 250 or 260. And maybe some of the other smaller parties, you know, they have more women candidates, but those parties are not even in the fray. You know, they're just there. They're registered, but they're not really in the fray at all.
And I think none of the ones that have been fielded out, the ones who were part of that student uprising.
Yes, I would like to finally draw attention. Yes, you're right. The NCP, the National Citizen Party, which was formed after the student uprising and supposed to be, you know, representing the students, they are nowhere. Even in the university student union election, they were nowhere. The Islami Chhatra Shibir, which is the youth wing of the Jamaat Islami, they won the seats there. So this just shows, and I'd like to draw attention to Sheikh Hasina's very strong message, which has come today. She's called the election a total farce, and she's really said that these election results should not be recognized because, you know, they really have no meaning when the majority of people have not participated. And, you know, the Jamaatis, as you can see from the visuals, have sent their own people. But other than that, have they been able to show really any visuals of you know, women participating or the minority community participating? None at all. So they put a lot of pressure on Awami League to participate, saying we'll kill you, kill your family if you don't participate. But still, the people have kept away. Sheikh Hasina's message, I think, should be heeded because we've seen before that the people of Bangladesh are very particular about the election. They value this ability to vote, and they want it to be a free and fair and inclusive vote. So they should be able to exercise a choice, not be forced. So I think Sheikh Hasina's message that we have to think about the outcome of these elections. Let's wait till the results are declared. It will probably be a kind of a unity government, you know, both BNP and Jamaat Islami put into one unity government because Yunus, through the referendum, which promises very greatly enhanced powers for the president of Bangladesh, he plans to stay on as the president of Bangladesh. So, you know, these yes vote in the referendum he will get because there are no serial numbers. And what he will do is he will convert this entire elected members into a kind of a constituent assembly. And since these elected members are only from the Jamaat Islami and the BNP, and the Awami League has been left out, he will be able to get them to do whatever he wants on the constitution. Actually, these people have no authority to change the constitution. That is why Sheikh Hasina is saying that don't allow them to fiddle with the constitution. Don't allow them to take this referendum and think that they can now draft a new constitution. And that is why she's saying not to recognize the election results. It's a very, very important point because once they change the constitution of Bangladesh and then start working on the new constitution, practically doing away with the 4 pillars of the 1972 constitution, which is democracy, secularism, nationalism, and social justice. They want to completely eliminate those. They want to even eliminate the memory of the liberation war of 1971.
71, yes.
So I think we have to really, be very, very careful now on what is going to happen next in Bangladesh. And it is shocking that all the Western countries who pride themselves on democratic institutions are willing to accept that the single largest political party in Bangladesh is not allowed to participate, and that the media is being totally muzzled. They're fully accepting that Awami Leaguers have been jailed and threatened with murder charges. They are fully accepting that. They are watching while the genocide on the Hindus, Buddhists, Sufis and Ahmadiyas are going on and pretending it's not happening at all. I mean, this is really shocking.
And women continue to face harassment for contesting these polls. Yes, the credibility of these elections will be questioned, but we all stand by for the results tomorrow. Thank you very much, Veena Sikri ji, for joining us on DD India News.